Hello everybody, welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel, and we are going to take on an interesting developing story over at Norwich City. Norwich relegated last year with a slew of very highly sellable, high value players. We expected a few of them to go out. We've still got a few days of transfer window left, but what has developed this past week has been a very interesting dynamic between manager Daniel Farke and two of these star players, Emi Buendia and Todd Cantwell. I've got the timeline, I've got the info, and I'm very, very interested to hear, well, fans of any team, frankly, because this is a management thing rather than a Norwich thing per se and a championship clubs and star players and transfer market issue, but very interested in people's comments on how you would have handled this and whether you think Farke is getting this right or he's getting this wrong. Now, I can't believe I have to make this concession and this disclaimer, but unfortunately, I have to. I'm talking about Norwich City fan. If you look above my head, you will see I am an Ipswich Town fan. Now, please turn off this video now if you are incapable of judging a football YouTuber on his ideologies, his research and his opinions rather than his status. Honestly, we're doing really well on the channel. I don't need your views and I don't need your comments. The same if you're an Ipswich fan who can't cope with an Ipswich fan talking about Norwich. Hopefully now, all those people have switched off and we're not going to get any dumbass comments or unnecessary views or dislikes that we don't want. Hopefully everybody left here just wants to discuss the issue at hand and we can all move on in a very grown-up and adult way. Sorry, have to have that rant because at least it preempts any idiotic comments and I can just block the person and say, I told you so. So, first of all, let's just have a quick look at the three people we're talking about. Daniel Farke, who I'm a pretty big fan of, to be honest. The team that went up, very surprisingly, in 2018-19 was knitted together by Farke. They played some really good football, scored 94 points, scored tons of goals, all-out attack. Good to watch, a bit painful as an Ipswich fan, but you take your hat off. They were really good. Timu Pukki up the top there, Aarons and Buendia as well. Excellent team. Didn't go so well in the Premier League. Not many signings, and Stuart Webber, the sporting director, said that he'd sent them to war without a gun or something to that effect. But a bit of unhappiness slipping in just with the manner of the season ending with a huge run of defeats. That said, this guy should have plenty of credit in the bank. Remember the start of that 2018-19 season. Norwich out of parachute payments, the money all invested, all gone, and he got them back up. So you'd think some credit in the bank there. We're also talking about Emi Buendia, who's an excellent player. Really too good for the Championship. Bit of a cheat code, wasn't it? He was way above the level in 2018-19. And then in the Premier League, progressive passing, stats and things of that nature. A darling of the analytics bods. And he's just a really good young player. Brought in from Spain, Argentinian guy. Superb player. They've been relegated. The thought is, well, if I'm right, I am right. He is too good for the Championship. Well, he'll likely be sold and they'll have to cash in. He won't be happy, COVID or no COVID, to go and play another year in the Championship, which could apply for Todd Cantwell as well. A bit of a different trajectory because, honestly, I thought when Norwich went up, Cantwell was behind Aarons, Godfrey, Lewis, those young players. But in the Premier League, he put up some very good numbers and surprised a few people. Good goal scoring and really elevated himself and kind of waved a flag to say, I can play at the top level. I'm young and I'm English. Obviously, as a man who wears his hair long, I get very fed up with people getting obsessed with people's appearance. So let's not have any comments about Todd Cantwell's hair. But it does need to be said that he carries himself with a certain swagger. We saw him doing kick-ups to run up and take a penalty, which he, in a penalty shootout, which he duly dispatched. So if you've got it, we've seen him on TikTok, we've seen him with the headphones on. So he carries himself with a certain self-confidence, which he did, to be fair, back up for much of the Premier League season. So those are the three people that we are dealing with. If you go to transfer marks now, and please, can I have no silly comments saying, oh, they're worth way more than that? Yes, I know they are. This is just what transfer marked. The reason I use these is it's a good metric of telling you who are the highest sellable assets at a club. Obviously, people will pay more than probably those numbers up there, but it's a nice little guide, and you can see there, look, there's Cantwell at the top there, English, 22. Aaron's, well, there's been all sorts of links with him going. Godfrey, he less than covered himself at the end of last season in glory, didn't he? And there's Buendia as well. I don't know why they've got him as a lesser value, I guess, because he doesn't have that little England flag there. Timu Puki's a bit different, isn't he? He's a bit older and a bit more of a niche Daniel Farke player rather than someone will probably blow a load of money off, thinking, this guy can come into our team and score loads of goals. He fits in very well at Norwich, let's just say. So you can see that the conceived wisdom is that these guys are amongst not only the most highly valued players at Norwich, but the most highly valued in the Championship. And remember, we still have David Brooks at Bournemouth, Josh King at Bournemouth, Ismail Sarr at Watford. But the caveat here is that Watford have sold Abdoulaye Doucouré, and Bournemouth have sold Nathan Ake and Ramsdale, the keeper, as well. So Norwich have sold Jamal Lewis, who is not on that list, but other clubs have still, kind of sold more players. There was, I can't think of his name, Estupinian, also went out from Watford for a lot of money. So basically the other relegated clubs have sold two big players and Norwich have only sold one. Yeah, not that means that they should follow suit, but you take the point I'm making. So here come Norwich down to the first Championship game, and you can see there Todd Cantwell in the team, front right position there, in a 4-2-3-1, starting the first game. Great if you're a Norwich fan. Lovely stuff. Buendia suspended, hungover from last season. So away we go. Everything's okay. Fine. Then, for Norwich's second game, Buendia misses City clash with Preston due to injury issue, failing a late fitness test on a shin injury. We take people for their word, and I'm sure David Freezer there at Archon is printing what he's been told by the club. But obviously, a lot of people put their tinfoil hat on and say, "Oh, injury. Oh, really? Okay, he's leaving." Who knows who's right or wrong? Emi Buendia knows. Norwich know. Daniel Farke knows. We don't, unless someone's got any more information. Stick it in the comments. Quote your source, though. There is the team that played against Preston. So, no Buendia. He's injured. Cantwell is still there. And if you look, there's the little injury signal next to Kieran Dowell. So I guess, I didn't watch the game. Someone will correct me. I guess Cantwell moved across into the 10 position there when Plachetta, who is a wide player, came on for Dowell. So important again. Cantwell there, he's played all bar 1 minute there. He's going to go off on 89 minutes. Now, and I've got the quotes here. Don't worry, I've done my research. This is the pre-Bournemouth press conference. Daniel Farke says, well, first of all, he says, he's talking about the pressure and the distraction for his players. Max handled it in the perfect way. Now, I have been trained in this because I've worked in a school. This is called parallel praise, where you criticise one child by praising another. Oh, isn't little Johnny sitting quietly and waiting patiently? When what you're really saying is, little Danny, why are you making so much noise and not waiting patiently? So a little bit of parallel praise there from Daniel Farke. I have to watch what happens on the training pitch. I cannot choose on quality or potential. So Farke is clearly already, I don't know my timeline on the dates here, I think 25th of February, 27, 26. So he's already 2 days before the game, pretty much telling everybody in code what he's about to do, i.e. he's not going to pick either of these guys. Spoiler alert. Norwich reveal their new kit. That's quite nice, actually, isn't it? The kind of black and or dark blue, is it? Purple and red number. Looks nice. And look who's modelling it. It's Emi Buendia. Todd Cantwell not involved in this photo shoot for the new kit. Obviously, contractually, all the players would be obliged if they were asked to show up for this photo shoot to come and try on the new kit and take a photo. Buendia seems quite happy to do so. But remember, we know what football fans are like. If you show a photograph of the player in the new kit, then everyone's going to say, oh, he's staying. And if you don't, everyone's going to say he's leaving. We know how this works. But another little interesting spoke in the wheel of this story, that is the official Norwich City Twitter. Emi Buendia and Marco Stiepermann available for this weekend. Now, is this Daniel Farke giving another message out saying, look, he's available, he's fit, so if he's not selected, you join up the dots and you know why I have not selected Buendia. There, obviously, Cantwell not mentioned. He's played both of the games thus far. But Cantwell is mentioned in the national press leading up to these games, or this game. Leeds United plot move for Norwich midfielder Todd Cantwell as Marcelo Bielsa looks to sign the England under-21 international for a fee of around £15 million. So, obviously, Norwich would lose a good player, but they've signed a lot of players and they look fairly well able to cope with a championship season with the squad they've got, with or without Cantwell or Buendia, frankly. If they were to get the fee they wanted, Cantwell would then get to go and play in the Premier League and work with Marcelo Bielsa, who is a fantastic manager, obviously. So this would, if they can get the right fee that they're happy with as a club, Norwich, this would be a deal that would be fine, wouldn't it? Norwich can go forward, bank the money, Cantwell can go and play in the Premier League. Everybody's happy, fingers crossed. So then we get to Bournemouth. Now, we obviously know with hindsight, no Cantwell and no Buendia, and neither of them even in the squad there. So I don't know whether that is the actual shape that Farke played. I'm sure a Norwich fan will correct me in the comments. I wouldn't assume it was. He normally plays 4-2-3-1. I'd guess McLean would be next to Skip and Rupp in the number 10 position. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I didn't see the game. So then we get to the post-match press conference, which you can see the Pinken there have quoted Farke saying, I stand for several values. This is sensational stuff from Daniel Farke here. First of all, he's asked by, I believe, Michael Bailey of The Athletic. Buendia was out with an unbelievably undisciplined red card. Then I expect he shows that he's ready. So Buendia in trouble. Farke pointing out that he missed the first games of the season through an unbelievably undisciplined, I think he said, German to English. Hey, his English is better than my German, so I won't criticise him for that. Red card. And then he's not shown that he's ready to play. And then on Cantwell, wow, he starts to bring up stats saying his last assist was 40 league games ago. I could have played with Grant Hanley or Christoph Zimmermann up front and they wouldn't assist less. So a kind of humorous take on it. And we've actually heard Daniel Farke quoting numbers and assist figures and things of that nature before. I think in terms of criticising Buendia again. So, look, that is the situation with Farke and Buendia and Cantwell. I'm really interested in what you guys think about how he's handled it. Obviously, Norwich have already done their recruitment, and Hugill and Dowell and Placheta and Skip and Gibson and Quintilla. Tons of players who should be good enough to get Norwich to finish at least in the top 6 have been signed. Has he now taken the position, right, I'm happy with my guys that want to play for me, and anyone that doesn't, frankly, can bugger off, basically? Is that a sensible position to take? By the way, this is completely subjective. I'm really interested in your comments, so please respect others' opinions if they disagree with you. How would you play this? Does this devalue the players? Do clubs now coming in say to Norwich, well, your manager doesn't fancy them, the window's running down, you want 20 million, not giving you that, we'll give you 13 and some add-ons or whatever. Does it devalue them? Does it play with the squad? Do some of the other players in the squad think, oh, we wouldn't be here, particularly without Buendia. I wouldn't have played a season of Premier League football if it wasn't for Emi Buendia. And I think every Norwich player can say that. I think there was even a crazy stat that said they literally didn't win a game without him. So, does that demoralise some of the other players? It's very much I remember Mick McCarthy saying, you're either peeing in from the outside or you're peeing out from the inside. And is he building a good siege mentality there? Is he showing to the fans, look, I am protecting your club? He does talk about the organisation and how proud people should be. Is he saying to the fans here, look, this is about Norwich and people representing them, being of upstanding and virtuous character, if footballs can be both of those things. And these guys are not showing that. They're disrespecting your club. What do you think? It does feel a little bit divide and conquer. Obviously, those people that think that football players run amok and have too much power will probably be quite pleased to see this. A manager saying, no, look, if you're not focused, you're paid to show up and be as good at football as you possibly are. If you're not focused in your work, you're not playing for me, no matter how good you are or how much you're worth. But in the real world, that works. But in football, it's not the real world. And can we draw the same comparison? Anyway, you can see I'm arguing both sides. What I'm really interested to hear is your guys' thoughts in the comments on whether you think he's getting this right or he's getting this wrong. There's a couple of scenarios here where if he loses his next game, which is at home to Derby, and Buendia and Cantwell are left out, and then the transfer window is the following Monday. I know they can do deals with, to be honest, I don't totally understand. I think they can still do deals with Premier League clubs. It's just Premier League to Premier League transfers after the 5th. But is he then left with egg on his face and looks a bit silly? Or if he wins the game and, the players are sold, is it a managerial and psychological masterstroke by Mr. Farke? I know there's probably a grey area in between and I'm pitching it as quite binary. But hey, it makes for fun in the comments. And please do get involved in the comments. I must just quickly say thank you to my Norwich supporting friend Russ, who has texted me the timeline for all of these things and saved me a load of time in researching. So thank you so much, Russ. Very, very kind. As I said, this is very, very much subjective. So please interact, get involved in the comments. Remember, none of us have a crystal ball. We don't know how this is going to play out. This could be the prelude to the two players going, Norwich banking a load of money, scoring 95 points and winning the championship. In which case, it was a masterstroke. This could be the prelude to a disastrous loss of the dressing room and Norwich being 14th in 10 games' time and Daniel Farke being kind of elbowed out of the club by all of Emi Buendia's mates in the dressing room. Who knows? We don't know. So please be respectful of others' opinion. But let me know, how would you have played this? And what is your feeling on how it will pan out for Norwich, Farke, and Buendia and Cantwell going forward? Please, as I've said, comment, like the video, if I put my thumb up actually in the camera there, and hit the subscribe button if you're a Norwich fan or otherwise. Please, we cover Championship here and our recently promoted Championship teams. And as I said at the top of the video, if you do not have the mental and emotional capability to hear a supporter of a rival team talk about your team, and you A, don't like that, or B, feel motivated to write a comment to that effect, then honestly, go away, go and watch a fan channel somewhere else where they'll say lots of nice things about your team and you'll never ever have to hear me talk about them. Honestly, really, you're not wanted here. You're genuinely not. We've got a great bunch of subscribers who are hopefully above such juvenile and tribal behaviour, but sadly, we do get it. You can join our fantasy league there, T5QBR0. You are at a disadvantage now because we're 2 weeks in our fantasy Premier League there. You might maybe even get Cantwell or Buendia in your team if they are sold to the Premier League, or Jamal Lewis, who's already over at Newcastle, isn't he? You can listen to everything I do on a podcast here. I'm trying to have a good go at doing this full time. So if you enjoy my stuff, you can support financially. I need your help at the moment. We've got 12,300 subscribers. That's wonderful. And I appreciate each and every one, but it's not enough to make me a living and pay my bills, my phone bill, and for my mortgage and my car and things of that nature. So I do need some help. You can help me by going over to amazon.co.uk/shop/the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel, where there's loads of lists of products, some silly, some sensible. If you buy one, I get a little kickback and that helps, and you get your product. Subscribe over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. And for $3 a month, the price of a pie or a cup of tea, you get to support me. I mean, a cup of tea at the football. You should be able to get a cup of tea for cheaper than that. But you know what I'm saying, don't you? And then for $5 a month, you get some extra content over there. Patreon-only vlogs. You get Q-Jump privileges. We've got Ben HD, the brilliant YouTuber, coming on the channel tomorrow night. If you're a Patreon, your question goes right to the top of the line. And there's my vlogs and Patreon-only Q&As. Plus, behind-the-scenes videos as well. I was at Reading Barnsley behind closed doors, and only Patreons got to see what I got up to there. You can sponsor the channel as well. You can be a fan sponsor of any of the recurring shows, or if you indeed run a business, you can sponsor my entire channel, and I would be very grateful were you to do so. Right, thank you everybody for watching. The most important thing here, and the great thing about YouTube, is your interaction. We can sit and watch Sky Sports, but we can't then go and have a discussion underneath the video. Well, you can over here, so please get involved. Please be nice. Let's try and avoid any insulting language or behaviour that we tend to get for some unknown reason. People, I don't know, the cloak of invisibility that the anonymity of commenting on the internet gives us. But I'd love to hear your takes on, is Farke playing with fire here, or is he getting this exactly right? Let me know what you think. And I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Over and out.